Now, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, G-Man Aviation. Now, in today's video, we are going to be doing our Southwest vlog. Now, we were on Southwest Flight 2235, scheduled to depart Midway Airport at about 11:25 a.m. Now, you can see here, we were just at the main terminal of Midway, as there is only one terminal. And you can already see that we were about an hour and 26 minutes late. Now, I'll explain that further in the video, but right now, we'll just talk about before the flight. So, I woke up at 7:57 a.m. to leave about an hour away from the airport and to drive there, of course, to get to the airport. So 7:57 on Sunday, December 29th. So let's check it out, all of the next things. Now, of course, we can also see a few different things. We're at gate A11. I'll talk more about that later. But you can also see it was an 894-mile journey, about 2 hours and 30 minutes. With a hour time change. Now, I will be showing all of this off in this video, so let's get into it. So here we are at our gate. It was gate A9 going to Denver, of course, out of Midway Airport. Now, on this screen, you could see that it still said we were on time with a boarding time of about 37 minutes. Now, that changed because, of course, they moved our gate, and we moved over to gate A11, but also, like the thing I showed earlier, you could see that our plane was actually delayed, or our flight was delayed from taking off about an hour and 30 minutes after its scheduled departure time of 11:25. So we ended up leaving at about 12:30, and you could see, and I will tell you why in a moment here, you could actually see I took a few pictures of our plane. Now, these were just because of the maintenance that they had. We were originally on one plane on gate A9, and they moved us to gate A11 with a different plane. Luckily, the plane was there, and apparently the new plane that we had a valve stuck, which I assume is probably a fuel valve. They didn't really tell us, but they fixed the valve, so that caused the delay. So I'll show some pictures of the plane. Not much you could see from the outside view, of course, because this valve was probably under the plane, but we luckily were able to board our flight. Now, our next thing here, I will film the takeoff so we can see that. Let's get into it. Now, I forgot to mention in our last little voiceover that there was actually more problems before we can actually start taxiing. Now, I don't really have any photos or video of this, but as we were pushing back on our new plane with the valve, while we were pretty much only probably 5 seconds into taxiing, we abruptly stopped because the tow bar on screen, I just put an arrow that will show you just a random tow bar. That's not the one that broke. But the tow bar that connects to the aircraft by the pushback truck broke. So our plane was then stuck for about 10 more minutes before they could fix that. So now let's get it to the takeoff and see how this flight goes. Now, here we were in the plane we just took off from Midway Airport. Now, I will show you a little picture here of a little tray table here. You could see I got my iPad and my little headphones on top of it. Pretty nice tray table, also extendable. Very, very largely sized compared to things like Spirit, where they give you these tiny little trays that do absolutely nothing. And now let's see the rest of the flight. The rest of the flight went pretty well. I watched a few shows, of course, on this 2 hour and 30-minute journey. And then we come in for landing. Let's get to the landing. So now that is flight number 1 taken care of. Now, of course, we did have to fly back, so that's what it's going to be in the next portion of the video. But first, I'd like to just show off what I was doing in Denver. Of course, I was going up to the mountains because there are mountains just outside of Denver if you drive about an hour. Now, I went up to the mountains with my family to ski because we like doing that, and it's very fun. So I have some clips from skiing, just a very little clip show, and then we'll be back to our second flight. Let's get into it. So now here we are, ready for our next flight back to Midway from Denver, of course. So I have a few pictures here. I have one picture of our hotel. It's currently showing now. You can't really see it that well because it is dark, but my hotel that I was staying at was actually directly across from some Boeing offices. Pretty interesting. It was a very close hotel airport. So you can see that from there. Now, the rest of the flight, I did actually vlog a little bit better on the way back. I have some footage through the Denver airport and more footage on the flights. So let's get into it. Of course, we are through the Denver airport, and we are at our gate. So now, it is pretty much time just to board our plane. It is a 737-800, taking us on over to Midway Airport today. But of course, since it is a cold day in Denver, as it usually is around this time of year, we of course had to go get de-iced. And our plane actually came in the night before, so it is a bit icy. Our plane was actually in the cold and dark state. It was actually had its edging covers on and everything. It was not being used through that entire night. We were the first flight of the day. So of course we had to go get it de-iced, and let's check it out. We are done de-icing. I actually forgot to mention something. When we were going through the Denver airport, it took about 15 to 25 minutes, pretty much 25 minutes more on that side, to walk from the main concourse where you check in and you get dropped off to your gate, which my gate was C61, so it was a little further, but you did have to take the train and get through all of the other moving walkways as you're walking through, as you saw in the time lapse. So keep in mind, if you have one of the further gates at Denver, to keep in mind about 25 minutes as you go through the airport. Very, very nice airport. and it's very cool. So after we de-ice, let's check out the takeoff. Let's go. So now here we are at 10,000 feet, and you can see here I got my tray table, my iPad, and my headphones, of course, for the peak listening to my movies, and you can see outside very high up. So after that clip in the plane, you can see that we have a very, very nice little seating experience, nice leg room, pretty comfortable. After a while, it did get a little uncomfortable, but luckily that was towards the end of the flight. Not too bad, definitely not bad at all from Southwest here. Very, very nice plane. Also, you could check bags for free on Southwest, which is one of the biggest things. I know my family, because we were skiing, we had almost 6 bags that were able to just be checked for free with skis in them. So very, very nice from Southwest there. One of the only airlines that does it for free, really, at least in the U.S. So we can see all that. Now, let's go to the landing. Of course, what we're waiting for, if they will be butter or if it will be a hard landing. Let's check it out. And it is actually day this time, so you can see the landing a little bit better. So let's get into it. Now that we have landed in Midway Airport, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is a very fun experience for me to just vlog pretty much kind of for the first time. So if I go on future flights, which I know I will, expect a vlog from them if I will say so, because I assume we will, with our lovely DJI Pocket 3. Very, very cool. Very good flight. Very nice on Southwest. They have lots of things. I also forgot to say that I had water the first flight, and I got a Coke the second flight, and they also handed out pretzels the first flight with graham crackers on the second flight. So very, very enjoyable experience. I was not sponsored by Southwest, so not any unfair review there. Just a very nice airline. Very cool, very safe flight, and the last landing was very smooth. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one, and have a great day.